YouTube, how are you doing? And welcome back to Phasmophobia. Today we are back with another weekly challenge, and it is my favorite challenge in the entire game. You know me, you know I love this one. It is the no evidence challenge. These ghosts really don't want to help you out, but we're sure you're up to the task. This is going to be a really good time to test your skills and practice with no evidence without risking anything. No evidence, if you don't know, is the way of playing the game without getting any evidence from the evidence items. Now, you can obviously get other types of evidence, such as is the ghost fast or slow, is he hunting early or later, etc, etc. The ghosts have so many different abilities in this game that you might not even ever use if you just play by getting EMF, writing, etc. But this challenge is going to force you to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that, and it's going to be fun. I hope you enjoy. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. But let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into the game. Let's go, baby. Here we go. We got Kyle White. So we do actually have the evidence items, but do not be fooled. Most of these are going to do nothing. The spirit box doesn't do anything. Writing book dots. The thermo can be used to find the ghost room. Why did they give us the tier 2 thermo? Disgusting. The tier 1 thermo is so much better for no evidence because you can way better track the roaming behavior, but whatever. The camera you can actually use for mimic specifically, because the mimic has an ability. It's not evidence, it is an ability where it will have several reports have noted ghost orb sightings near the mimic. It's one of the most well-known abilities, but it also works when you have no evidence. And the EMF is just nice to figure out where the ghost is. Now, we do also have the screens, luckily, which will allow us to tell if it's early hunting or late hunting, which is also a thing, and if we get any 2 interactions or something. We're just going to grab the tier 2 flashlight. We have tier 1 headcam, so that's not happening. I'm just gonna grab, I grabbed both EMFs. That seems a little bit much. Let's just see if we can find it. We have snow weather as well. We're on Grafton. That's where the weekly, but what's really important about the weekly, which I think I picked up the key, which I personally have never done, but you can totally do yourself, is use the weekly challenge to practice with these items on other maps. If you are starting out the game, this is actually like a huge life hack for if you're a new player in Phasmo. If you are playing amateur mode, you literally might as well just play the challenge mode and go to any map of your choosing. You'll get the same payout as you would get for amateur mode. However, all items are provided to you for free, which means you can do extra objectives. It means you can you don't risk anything, and you can just try out, you can die, learn how to deal with hunts, etc, etc. Like, it's such a... Ooh. It can't be Jinn, because the Jinn wouldn't be able to use its ability if the breaker wasn't on. So it's the ghost here. The ghost is here. I see. Okay, so we found the ghost. So yeah, there's actually like something you should really keep in mind. All right, so the ghost is here, which is always important. We're gonna turn on some lights just in case it's gonna be mare or something. There's gonna be all kinds of fun stuff. It depends on what ghosts we get here. I don't know if there's a cursed possession, because we have a mare cursed possession. Okay, that's actually very useful. Let's pop it up now. Okay, so it is actually that ghost room for sure, which is going to be important to rule out Goryo later. I don't know if there is going to be any roaming. Sometimes the devs turn off roaming, which would actually be really bad here for Goryo, because then there's no way you can figure out a Goryo if the Ure doesn't roam or something. But anyway, let's just start off. What do you do when you first start a no evidence run? You take the basic stuff, the things that most people probably know, such as salt. Salt for Wraith is a really simple ability. If the ghost steps in the salt, you can rule out Wraith, because what you're trying to do, you have this whole list of 24 ghosts ahead of you, right? And it can be really overwhelming to work your way through these. So start with the simple ones that you can rule out right away, and then pay attention to a lot of the things that are going to be happening that I'm going to be talking about. But Wraith is a nice one to do right off the bat. Mimic is a nice one to do immediately. Just look for orbs. If you don't see orbs, make sure to check a few times, because sometimes the ghost orbs will not show right away. I don't know if they clip into walls or something. It can just be a little tricky. You can also take the paramic out there to start looking for the Banshee scream or something like that. But I think what we're gonna do is just grab ourselves a crucifix right now, because we're gonna be setting up for Unreal as well, which is nice to have in the room early. The Unreal has an ability where if it blows out a candle 3 times in a row, it should immediately hunt after that. Sometimes it doesn't, from my experience, so that's not 100% certain, but what is certain is that the Unreal will treat the candle like a crucifix. So if you get the crucifix to... Just turn off the light. If you get the crucifix to be used underneath a candle, there you go. It stepped in the salt. That means no wraith. So that's our first step. This is always a nice little first step. on ruling out Wraith. But as I was saying, if you get the crucifix to be used while a candle is lit on top of it, that means you're probably, or definitely not dealing with an Onryo. Let's look for Orbeez. So this is the ghost room. We know this because the mirror showed us. Now, it is still cold here, and it's probably going to be cold for a while. We're not seeing any orbs at all, so I am going to... It turned on the light, dude. We're getting a lot of fun evidence. This is one of the things you have to be paying attention to during a no evidence run, which, does the ghost ever turn on a light? If it turns on a light ever, instantly rule out Mare. Mares cannot turn on lights. Now, they can turn off lights. They can turn off the breaker. They aren't more likely to turn off breakers, by the way. Literally, the only way you can, rule out Mare without any, effort from your own is just does it turn on a light? Boom, you rule out a Mare immediately. Now, we're also going to rule out Mimic because we didn't see any Orbeez. It is doing a ghost event as well, and it was an airball ghost event. Now, very important with what just happened, because I see that a lot of people misunderstand that. The sound that just happened doesn't necessarily mean it's immediately not an Oni. The reason that was not an Oni was because it's an airball. How did I know it was an airball without seeing it? Because there were no footsteps. There was no boom, boom, ghost walking behind me. Then it touched me, did that sound. It was just completely quiet, and then suddenly, rah! Which means it was just a floating airball thingy, which they might change this down the line if they add any new ghost events at some point. So we're now at 60% sanity, which means that a few ghosts can start hunting here, and we're just gonna let it hunt. We're gonna grab ourselves a candle to, I think we don't really need anything else. Grab ourselves a candle and a smudge stick to rule out, hopefully, Onryo, because the Onryo can start hunting at 65% sanity, actually, if there's no candles nearby, which can be kind of tricky. Onis cannot do an airball at all. No. They can do shadow as far as I know. They're less likely to do shadow, but they cannot do airball. It's stepping in the salt non-stop. It's also just staying in this room, which is normal. Alrighty, Ghost. Can you give us a sign? Can you show yourself? Can you do something? I don't have a photo cam, so I can't rule out Phantom here. That's already set up. So the reason, one of the many reasons I love no evidence so much is that it requires, quite a bit of planning. You really feel like you're like the ghost whisperer, like the ghost master. It requires some forethought, some planning, so you don't just if you don't plan ahead, it's gonna be really hard later on to figure out the ghost. So what we're doing now is setting up for the inevitable hunt that's gonna happen, and I'm just throwing a bunch of items on the kitchen island right here because this is gonna be our looping spot. Which looping is one of the very useful skills that you'll be able to try out during this weekly challenge because you're not going to be risking anything. You're not going to be risking your hard-earned cash or whatever. It is really important to test for certain ghosts. For example, the poltergeist. The poltergeist will be throwing way more during a hunt than normal ghosts. So if we loop it around this and it just starts fucking throwing items around like absolutely crazy, we know it's a poltergeist. It blew out the candle. That's blowout number 1. So if it blows it out 3 times, it should hunt. Can you give us a sign? Can you show yourself? Can you do something? I could also hold out my own candle. Oh, wait a minute. The lighter has a limited amount of time that it can be used, right? So maybe I shouldn't be doing that. What's your name? Kyle White, right? Kyle, can you give us a sign? Can you show yourself? Can you do something? Can you give us a sign? How do people that live in Tanglewood leave their house with their car? Is the door... Can the garage door not open? I thought there was a garage door on Tanglewood, but... I've never really paid attention to that. So that was second blowout. We got a red light ghost event. Pretty damn sick. Was it here? Wait, was it standing right here? I didn't really see it. Okay, so that was blowout number 2. We want one more blowout and then hopefully a hunt. No hunt, so very unlikely to be an Onryo. Almost impossible. We should be low sanity now because we just walked into another hunt or another ghost event, which will drain your sanity. That's another important thing, by the way. Ghosts will only drain your sanity when you touch the ghost event during a hunt. If you're just let's say the ghost is singing over there and it's just standing and then it goes away, that does not drop your sanity whatsoever. You have to physically touch it. And there's also it blows it out again. It just keeps blowing out the candle. There's also some abilities related to ghost events. Obviously, it's not an Oni one. It's probably one of the most common at this point. But other ones are, if it is an Oni and it touches you, it'll actually drain your sanity by 20% rather than just a regular 10%. And if it's a Banshee and it does a singing ghost event, and it touches the target, which in this case, because I'm playing single player, is always going to be me. If it touches the target, instead of 10%, it'll drain your sanity by 15%. But there's some very important conditions on this. First of all, only if it touches the target, and second of all, only if it's a singing ghost event. So that one is way less reliable, and also it's harder to see, right? A difference in 5%, like the difference between 10 and 15 is way harder to notice than the difference between 10 and 20. Like that's way easier. Can you give us a sign? This ghost is definitely not hunting. It's definitely not very aggressive. It's not throwing a lot. Now, the problem with doing a weekly challenge, no evidence, is that we don't know the exact settings. So maybe they lowered the activity. Maybe they lowered the ghost event chance. So it's a little trickier than it would usually be if you did like a regular nightmare mode, no evidence, which is what I usually go with the nightmare mode settings, because I'm used to that. Man, the rat. Thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you. Happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah, we're playing this. We're recording this video on Halloween, so if the video looks a little bit extra spooky to you, you know why. Okay, so we're at 60% sanity right now. Very unlikely to be on Rio based on the candle blowout situation. Very unlikely to be demon, because demons can start naturally hunting at 70% sanity. We've been in there for a while. Didn't hunt. Didn't use the crucifix. Probably not a demon. We've also been yelling at it quite a lot, and we haven't gotten any yokai hunts, so I'm not gonna rule it out because there's no like concrete. Sometimes you're gonna rule something out and it's not necessarily 100% that you can rule it out, but you kind of just want to like narrow down the list over time so that you don't get like you're not staring at this list of 100 different or 24 different options, and you can slowly narrow it down. Let's take a few more of these, and I guess we're just gonna pop up the mirror once, or maybe we'll just let it. I think we'll just turn off the lights in the ghost room and just let it hunt. Alistair, thank you for the $20 donation, or 20 other currency donation as well. Thank you. All right, drop these in the corner here. We're gonna pick those up during the hunt. We have a photo cam for the potential phantom that might happen. Also, you move that mannequin, you sneaky boy. All right, turn off this light. So the way the sanity system works is that if you're standing in the light now on small maps, you will not drain any sanity whatsoever. So if you want to drop your sanity, you need to turn off the light so you can lose sanity. It's blowing out the candles a lot, but it's just like not hunting. I could take a photo of that because you can get a interaction photo of the candle now. I mean, I guess we could take a photo off of that. This a little scary to be so far into the ghost room. Another candle blowout. Through that as well. Can you give us a sign? Doing like moderate amounts of activity. Now you can obviously play this in a different way, which maybe next round we'll play it in a different way. There should be a photo over here in the corner, but sometimes it doesn't work for me. It'd work. What I was gonna say is that you can also play this in a different way, where you start with the hunt, hope you get lucky, and hope you get like a revenant or something, and if not, you figure out the ghost beyond that. You do the other stuff after. But I like to start with just the experience, like feel the behavior of the ghost, because this is like more closer to a normal, Jesus Christ, this ghost is doing all kinds of stuff now. Do a normal investigation. There, we got an airball ghost event, which drops our sanity. So now we should definitely be in hunting range. Can you give us a sign? EMF 4. It's probably gonna hunt very soon, and I really want to get it to use the crucifix underneath the candle. Come on! Ghost is acting weird. Maybe it isn't on Rio. Okay, we filled up the book with all photos. So it doesn't matter anymore. Can you please hunt? Like any ghost except it might be a Dio here, because Dios or shades are less likely to hunt. They start hunting. The Dio starts hunting at 40% sanity, and the shade start hunting at 35% sanity. So the fact that we haven't gotten any hunt for now, like I should be 45 at the very most, right? Because I just got a ghost event and I stood in the shadow for a while. Unless I'm severely mistaken. Let me check. You gotta make sure that you know kind of what your sanity is, because that's gonna be a really important type of evidence. I'm exactly at 45, so yeah, I don't know why it's not hunting. I think this is probably gonna be a Dio, if I were to guess. A Dio or a shade, but it's a little too active for a shade, I would say personally. Shreya, thank you for the donation as well. Thank you. Yeah, it's Because any ghost, like any ghost except Dio and Shade, would have already been able to hunt. So what I'm gonna do now is I want to get a hunt, but I want to get a hunt in a way that I can deal with. So we're gonna move this crucifix. So we're not bothering with, I mean, I guess it could also be an on Rio, right? We're gonna have to do that check in a little bit. I need to grab my lighter. I lost my lighter. If the ghost hunts now, it's gonna be a little fucked up. I dropped it right there. Okay. We need to... Oh, there we go. I used it anyway. Are you fucking kidding me? The annoying part about having the ghost use a crucifix is that it turns off all the lights, and you want to have those lights on so you're looping. You need... That's tip number one for if you want to try and loop. Turn on the lights. Because without the lights, it's so much harder than it has to be. Isaac, thank you for the $5 donation as well. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I appreciate it. Can you give us a sign? Hello, hello? You already hunted, so we know that the ghost can hunt now. Oh, here we go. It's a regular-ass ghost? It's not a poltergeist, that's for sure. It's nothing fast. It's definitely not a Dio, because it even lost me there. Oh, God. It's not a poltergeist because it's not throwing at all. It's not a phantom because it's blinking like quite normally. It's sped up there slightly. I'm gonna smudge the ghost now, just because the hunt was about to end. I smudged a 20-25 here, so we're gonna test for spirit now. Very surprising. Let's check our sanity. Should be probably below 35 anyway. Let's see what we got here. So I'm gonna rule out a few ghosts here. We are actually at rule out shade range. So if you're above 35% sanity and you got hunted, you know it's not a shade. So that's really good. We know it's not a Dio. We know it's not a Raichu because it didn't get fast close to our equipment. We know it's not a Hantu because it's sped up over time. No Revenant because it wasn't fast or slow. No Phantom because it was blinking totally normal. No Thay because it was speeding up. Thays cannot speed up. Almost certainly no Obake because he never saw a shapeshift. Moroi is a little tricky here because Moroi's at this sanity range will sound just like any other ghost, so that's gonna be not... I can't really rule that out. No Poltergeist because it wasn't throwing anything. Almost certainly not the twins, Myling, Yokai, and stuff like that, but we're gonna have to do a quick test. One more test. We'll grab a Paramic here. Also grab just another one of this. Moroi speed up in line of sight. Yes, they do that. I think it was just normal sound. Okay, so it's been a little over a minute now since it hunted. So we're going to try and rule out Spirit. How do you rule out Spirit? Spirit can hunt after... I have 2 lighters now. Can hunt after... Or every ghost can hunt after 90 seconds after you smudge it again. They can hunt again. Except the Spirit. The Spirit takes 3 minutes before it can hunt again. And the Demon takes only 60 seconds. So that is... Those are the important ranges you need to keep in mind. We should probably hold out the Paramic, I guess. Just start listening for a Banshee scream and maybe get a Moroi curse to see if our sanity is going to be draining way more frequently. Spirit or Yokai? Yeah, the Yokai test is I have to do somewhere else. Yeah, 2 minutes has passed now. Oh, here we go. Oh, huh? Why was it so slow there for a second? Did you hear that? Yeah, I wanted to walk away so I could do a Yokai test. Can you fuck it? Can you go away? So it's not a spirit, by the way. Oh my god, this ghost is just absolutely camping this kitchen island. Oh my god, dude. Alright, can I run away? I just want to lose it so we can do a... Okay, we can't do a Yokai test because this ghost is too damn smart. It's staying on top of me. If it walks away and I turn on my flashlight and it immediately turns around coming for me, you know it's probably gonna be not a Yokai. Alright, so it was not a spirit. No spirit. We need to do a Jinn test as well. If this is going to start off with a Yurei or Goryo here, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable. Because of the way that they've designed this difficulty, I don't think there is going to be a single way. If you don't get a Yurei ability, there's going to be no way to distinguish between Yurei and Goryo, because I'm pretty sure that they turned off roaming for this, which is actually bad for no evidence, funnily enough. Usually you don't want ghosts to roam, but for no evidence, it makes it harder. But we'll see. We're gonna just keep going. We have a lot more to do. So Onryo is very unlikely. We didn't smudge it there at all, but we're still gonna quickly place this in here and see if we get it to confirm that it's not an Onryo by lighting this. Oh, we don't have much. Come on, use the crucifix. I'm gonna hold on to my, because it did act weird, right? It didn't hunt for. There you go. So it used the crucifix underneath both my lighter as well as the candle, which means no Onryo. So we have in fact ruled that out correctly, but always good to confirm for the ghosts that have like certain confirmations like that. Okay, you are doing all kinds of shit right now. I would just want to turn on all these lights here. It can't hunt during a ghost event like this, by the way. It will start its hunt afterwards, unless you use like the curse possession, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my. It might use the crucifixes on this table right now. Okay, what's gonna be our next step? Next step here probably is gonna be yokai test. We can still do that during a hunt. I don't think it's a Myling. Don't think it's a Moroi. Don't think it's the twins. Jinn is also gonna be an easy test here. I just really want you to hunt. Is it just me, or is it harder now to hear where the ghost is coming from at the start of a hunt? Like you hear that? There's no like sounds at the beginning. I guess this is also a really quiet ghost sound, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna run away here. Did it see me? Let's see if we can bait it over here. Hello, hello. There's definitely not a Myling, because we can hear it just clearly. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello? It walked to me there at the end, but that was kind of weird. We're gonna have to test that again. I don't think it's a yokai, but you always you always should confirm that. I really want to do a Jinn test too, right here. Let's hold our, hopefully it's not gonna hunt on top of me here. That would be really bad. You know what, actually, I'm gonna, didn't I have a crucifix here? I thought I had a crucifix on this. Guess I didn't. Oh, there. Take this and place it over here. This will prevent the ghost from hunting in this small area, which keeps me safe if the host were, or the ghost were to start hunting on top of me, because it can't, because then the crucifix will be used. So we're gonna whisper. So the Banshee, every time it does a whisper, there's a 30% chance it does a special scream, which we will be able to figure out. Now, the fact that it came to us here previously might indicate that we are dealing with a Banshee, because the Banshee will has an ability to roam to the target's location, which in this case would obviously be me. I like that. Actually, this is such a useful first hunt or first run. I remember last time we did this weekly challenge, I just got like 3 hunting ghosts in a row. That's the second time that we've had the ghost Jesus Christ, be here. So it might actually be a Banshee, but we did get 2 whispers in a row. This is all kind of suspicious. I'm gonna grab a motion sensor here. We haven't gotten many singing ghost events, have we? Gonna grab a motion sensor just to see if it actually walks to me. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was loud as hell. This is why you place the crucifix, by the way, in case you're dealing with like a, place it like that. Dude, what the fuck? Kind of very strange right now. Can you give us a sign? We're at 0 sanity now, yes. It shoots the crucifix. Wow. Fucking mega annoying. Are you kidding me? I kind of want to use the sanity pills to see if the ghost room has changed with the mirror. You know what? Let's literally do that. We're not gonna have to get our sanity up anymore anyway, because like the remaining ghosts here we can rule out with the hunt. We've done a lot of stuff outside of the hunt already. So we're gonna take, I don't know how much these are gonna give you, so I'm gonna wait a little bit here because I don't know the settings. Maybe they're gonna give us fucking 100% sanity, and then I'm gonna be screwed if I take, well, I guess it doesn't matter if I take all of them then, but okay, so 20% at least. I think it takes 20 seconds for these to give sanity. Okay, so they give at least 25, probably 30 or 40 if it's normal. Do we have a grace period? Dude, it's so much sanity for 1 sanity. Okay, 30%. 30% sanity, which means we can pull up the mirror just for 1 second to give 25. Why did I get from 0 to 30 then? All right, whatever. You cannot use the board to see EMF 5. No. Okay, quick mirror peek. So it is still the exact same room, which is extremely suspicious for Banshee here. Like, but we have gotten 3 whispers, so I don't really know what's going on here. This is a very fun ghost. It's just like, because I think the difference. Oh, something. Okay, so it's not a Jinn, because it didn't speed up there at all. Try and get it to walk away. Oh, and immediately turned around. Did you see that? That's how you rule out yokai. That's how you rule out yokai. It, as soon as I turned on my flashlight, turned around, was like, it saw me. So no yokai. Almost certainly not a Moro, right? Because we had 0 sanity hunts and it didn't sound any faster. So that's good. Oh, definitely not the twins, right? Because it's not faster or slower. So we're down to the classic 3. This is, if you are familiar with the way no evidence runs work, you're familiar with this this trio right here. These are the 3 ghosts that require the most amount of RNG to figure them out. So they'll, if you are like doing a regular no evidence run, this is usually what you'll end up with if you get unlucky and it's not any of the other ghosts. So in this case, how do we go from here? We need to get more whispers for the Banshee. I guess I should do a quick... Oh, fuck. I wanted to do a quick smudge. But it's now staying in that room. I feel like it's probably a Goryo, just purely based on the fact that it hasn't done a single Yurei ability, which the Yurei abilities have been way more common for me. But if you've managed to narrow it down to these 3, you can make a very educated guess, but like it requires an infinite horizon of time for you to actually like rule it out from here, because Banshees could literally never decide to scream. Yurei could literally never decide to use its ability, so it's kind of out of your control at this point. So don't feel bad if you get it wrong after this point. Don't feel discouraged about your no evidence skills. Jane Doe, thank you for the $5 donation, and Snibby Bibbas, thank you for the donation as well. Thank you guys. Okay, so we're gonna smudge real quick just to get the ghost to stop hunting for a second here. I thought it was hunting there. So we can get 1 more scream. The rule that I have like devised for myself is that if I get 4 whispers, I rule out Banshee. This is just a completely... Oh my god. It never stops on the motion sensor though, weirdly enough. It's just like an arbitrary rule that I have because like you gotta have a cutoff point somewhere, right? Because you can stay here forever, never get a scream, and then it could still end up being a Banshee anyway. So you just gotta decide what's good for you. You can stick for 5 or 6 whispers if you want. Like the more whispers you stick around for, the higher of a chance that you get a Banshee. But we just got 4 whispers in a row, and none of them were screams. So I'm gonna rule out Banshee. I'm gonna rule out Yurei because we didn't get a single Yurei ability during this entire hunt, but it could easily be a Yurei that just didn't use its ability because I'm pretty sure that the ghosts don't roam on this setting, but I guess I just haven't seen it. So we're gonna go with Goryo, which is genuinely, if it ends up being a Goryo, this is the hardest ghost during a no evidence run. We didn't had any different ghost type at all, so if this ends up being a mimic, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I also checked for orbs, which I didn't see. We did all objectives. We didn't get the bone though. Was that? It was indeed a Goryo. So there you go. That is the perfect ghost for you guys if you're watching this video, because it meant I had to go through literally every single other ghost to get to this conclusion. So if you get a Goryo correct on no evidence without guessing, you're an absolute madman, because it takes like genuinely 26 minutes of just pure brain power to get there. But anyway, we got to do 3 runs, so that was literally just the first. Let's do this one upside down. So that one we did completely normal, where you start by just treating it as a normal contract. You put your items in the room, you slowly wait until you get into hunting range, and then you start doing hunt checks. Let's turn it upside down, and we're gonna start by well, first we should turn on the breaker, and then we're gonna just immediately trigger a hunt with whatever cursed possession we have, which might be another mimic, or a mirror, I should say. It is another mirror. I'm gonna turn on these lights. If you get lucky this way, like if you wanna like speed run this or cheese it, semi-cheese it, you could literally just reset over and over again on the weekly challenge and like get a hunt every time initially, and if you get like a revenant or something obvious, you fill it in, and otherwise you leave. Like, but I want to give you the knowledge that that you need to actually actually be a god gamer and figure out every single ghost, not just the easy ones that everyone knows, because we like to do things seriously out here without taking the easy way out. Okay, so this is that room. It is that room. Okay, so it's gonna come from there. It's gonna hunt now, probably. Jane Doe, thank you for the subscription. Thank you. Turn this on. All right, Ghost. What's my sanity? I guess I should quickly check, just so we know. I used it. I pulled it up 3 times or 4 times even, so I should be at like 20. I am indeed at 20. Every time you pull up the mirror, it costs you 20% sanity. So I pulled it up 4 times, which put me at 20% sanity. So now any ghost, including a shade, kind of hunt. You could pull it up 3 times to be right at 40, so that you could potentially rule out a shade right away. But we get hunted now. I think it's twins. Or Hantu or something. It's speeding up, right? So it's a twin. It sounded very slow. I'm gonna smudge and just hide here and hope. Well, I guess I'll run upstairs. I think so. But we're gonna have to do another hunt. Just like I'm just gonna trigger another hunt with the mirror immediately. Just to, that's what I like to do when I have a feeling it's the twins. You can usually leave, but both doing 2 hunts can make it extremely obvious it's the twins, and it can also help you to potentially get a mimic instead. Because if you get like a Dio on your first hunt, you might just be dealing with a mimic instead that decided to be a Dio. So getting 2 hunts in a row is the way to go around that, or looking for orbs, I guess, if you want to do that, which is also obviously safe. Now, did hunting? I think it stopped. I think I've just been sitting. Yeah, I think I've just been sitting there for no reason. So we're gonna turn on some lights and get the frick out of here. Leave this here. Grab ourselves another smudge. So we did smudge the ghost, which means it's not gonna be hunting right now. So that's where we're gonna trigger the hunt using the cursed possession. So I didn't really talk about this much. The twins. They have so many different ways you can figure them out. There is twinteraction-like things on the board, which is where you get an event. That was probably one, actually. I'm not sure. I think so. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think so. It just, because you can't see it because it's the same slope. But basically, if you see a thing go up, a line go up, and then it changes slope somewhere halfway through, you know that it at least did something so close together, which is either mean it is a ghost with a ghost ability, or it is a really active ghost, or alternatively it is the twins, because the twins has a special ability where it forces 2 interactions to happen right after one another, which will result in that exact same thing. But don't use that as gospel, because it can happen naturally for other ghosts as well. Now, the thing that I just used to potentially get to the twin conclusion is that the twins are sometimes slower and sometimes faster than normal ghosts. And it really sounded like they were slower, but maybe we're just talking about something that is not even relevant to this game. Maybe they aren't the twins. So let's just... Oh, turn off the brake. That's very annoying. Just do another round here. I'm going to turn on these lights. I think it could just naturally hunt right now. But I won't even have to use the mirror, and then I can just do 3 hunts in a row. Now, this is a 50% chance. 50% that it'll be slow, 50% that it'll be fast, which means that if you get unlucky, you'll get the exact same type of speed over and over again in a row, which can make it hard to figure it out. Listen to that. Way faster. Oh, what? Excuse me? What the fuck is that hunt, dude? It hunted from there and then it hunted from upstairs. That is such a twin thing as well. You can hear how it's significantly faster now. Doom, 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 doom. And before it was like boom, 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 boom. So the best way to rule out twins for me is getting the 2 things to happen one after another. Yes, if you put a gun to my head, I could figure it out with just 1 hunt. But as like a rule of thumb, or at least if you're starting out to identify the twins, just getting 2 hunts back to back and you get the 2 different speeds makes it immensely obvious that you're dealing with the twins, because of the difference between the sounds. Because like it's a 5% change. It's either 5% faster than a normal ghost or 5% slower, which can be hard to distinguish, but a 10% difference between either 95% speed or 105% speed is way more obvious to tell. So yeah, anyway, there we go. It was the twins. And the other thing that happened there, which I love the twins so much because it has so many little abilities going on, was that it was in that room downstairs, right? But instead it hunted upstairs because the twin can hunt from a far away point by using its like the twin can hunt in a really large range around where the ghost is, which is called a decoy hunt, but don't get it twisted. There's not actually a decoy walking around. We used to think, because this was how it was described to us by the developers, but it was just, they were just using it as a shorthand. This is not actually how it works in the game. We used to think that there were literally 2 ghosts walking around. That's not how it works. There's 2 ghosts on top of one, basically. One has a small range of interaction, and the other ghost, which is still the same ghost, has a huge range. So that's the way it works. It's like basically as if they're on each other's shoulder. Like they're just stacked up like two monsters in a trench coat, basically. Anyway, we got 2 abilities, so 2 interactions, or maybe decoy hunt as well. I don't know if that counts, but that was a good one. That is a good example of Rico to Grafton. A good example of how the upside down strategy for doing a no evidence run can really quickly help you out. Because yes, we could have figured that out by doing a slow investigation like we did the first time. But I'm gonna do another one like that because we already did a full investigation where we went through every single one of the ghosts in the first round. So I'm just gonna show you how to deal with this upside down stuff. Burn World, thank you for the Burn World, thank you for the $2 donation. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna just have... I like that they gave us the mirror. That's a very nice thing to do as the developers, because it allows you to find the ghost room, which makes me think that probably the ghosts can roam in the settings, but I don't know. We didn't see it, but we were also dealing with a Goryo, so that explains. Gorios cannot roam. Unless you use the monkey paw and wish for sanity, then it will always roam, because that's forced by the monkey paw. We're gonna pull it up 4 times here. 1, 2... 3, 4. So we're at 20 now, and it's also in the living room, which is a little spooky. I'm gonna turn this on and then run away, and then test for Jinn, I guess. So we should just first listen to the ghost. Hello? 20% sanity and still not hunting. Kinda sussy. I mean, if I pull up the mirror now, it just breaks, so... Like, you don't want to break the mirror because it lengthens the hunts by a lot, and it also means you can't use the cursed possession anymore, right? So just using the cursed possession to control your sanity and then letting the ghost naturally hunt is also going to tell you about its aggression levels, which this ghost is not aggressive at all. So it seems very unlikely for this to be a demon right now. Could still be a demon that's just really shy. It could be... Oh, there we go. Smiling? No. Oh. Fuck, it's super... The Revenant? Hello? Ah! What the fuck? Why did it get so stuck on the table? Did you see that? It got mega stuck on the table. I'm gonna just... Wait, did it just stop the hunt? What the fuck? Okay, so that's a Revenant for you right there, which is the other... Like, there's so many ghosts you can figure out fast during a hunt, which is like a really quick strategy. But make sure that you actually are proficient enough to do an actual no evidence as well. So yeah, there you go. Could obviously be a Mimic. We could get Mimic trolled here. But I'm really glad we started this off with a Goryo, so I got to show you everything. Because I remember last time I was really disappointed with the weekly challenge, or with what happened during my weekly challenge when I did this, is because I got like 3 fast hunting ghosts, or 3 really obvious ghosts in a row. Like his first one was a Wraith or something, and then Moroi and Dio or something, so I didn't get to show off any of the cool stuff. But yeah, there you go. That's how you earn 5,000. Obviously, those second 2 runs were way faster than the first one, but the first one was way more satisfying and actually allowed you to show all your skill, and you fucking figured out a Goryo using no evidence, you maniac. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching over on YouTube. Let me know if you're going to do this challenge. Let me know how it went for you. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. If you liked the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And if you want to join the lovely gamers here in chat, you can join us over at twitch.tv/Instagram. The link in the description down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.